Shalom and welcome to the 70 Facebooks of the Torah. I'm Jesse Olitsky, rabbinic intern at the Orangetown Jewish Center. I hope you had a lovely and festive Pesach holiday, and I'm excited to get back to our learning the weekly Torah portion together. This week we study Parshat Shmini, where we really have the initiation of formal worship, a continuation of what started in the last Parshat, Parshat Tzav. This portion begins with Leviticus chapter 9, and gives us the exact instructions of what sacrifices one should make and when, in essence, the keva, the fixed form of worship, should be offered. We read together an interesting account of Nadav and Avihu, Aaron's sons, who struggle between the keva, the fixed ritual sacrifices, and the kavanah, their own personal sacrifices. We read together the beginning of chapter 10 of the book of Leviticus, verses 1 through 3. Verse 1 reads, "Now Aaron's sons Nadav and Avihu each took his fire pan, put fire in it, and laid the incense on it, and they offered before the Lord alien fire, which God had not enjoined upon them." Verse 2, "And fire came forth from the Lord and consumed them. Thus they died at the instance of the Lord." And finally, verse 3, "Then Moses said to Aaron, 'This is what the Lord meant when God said, "Through those near to me I show myself holy and gain glory before all the people." And Aaron was silent. Aaron was silent and stunned. Clearly he's mourning the sudden death of his sons Nadav and Avihu, but also he doesn't quite understand what happened. We don't quite understand what happened. Let's see if we can figure out together what Nadav and Avihu exactly did. The text tells us that they offered alien incense. The Hebrew for alien incense, ish zara. Zara literally means foreign, and we use the term avodah zara to mean foreign worship, pagan worship, forbidden to participate in. Yet, is it possible that Nadav and Avihu offered a pagan sacrifice? I don't think so. As Aaron's sons, they were priests. They knew the rituals, they knew the sacrifices, they knew how to properly worship Adonai. So what was this Ish Zara, this alien incense that they offered? God, the text says, had not enjoined this sacrifice onto them. It was not commanded of them. So then is it possible that they're punished simply because they offered a kavanah, a spontaneous sacrifice, spontaneous prayer? We're not punished when we offer our spontaneous prayers. We're encouraged to do so. So what did they do? What went wrong here? Some commentators say that they were punished because of their egotism, because the text says each took his own fire pan and they never consulted each other. Other commentators suggest that they were drunk when they offered this kavanah. And because they were drunk, they weren't in the proper state of mind, the right mindset to personally and privately worship Adonai, and that's why God punished them. One interpretation believes that they were trying to be too pious. One of my favorite quotes comes from former Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, who said, "Don't be so humble, you're not that great." They were so focused on becoming closer to God that they were too pious. They only worried about offering their kavanah instead of also focusing on the keva, focusing on the fixed rituals and sacrifices as well. After all, the keva is supposed to be our atlas, our GPS that helps us offer the proper kavanah that leads us on our own personal spiritual paths with God. We cannot have one without the other. A question to think about this week. What do you think happened in this account of Nadav and Avihu, Aaron's sons? Did they do anything wrong? And how do we balance the polarities of keva and kavanah in our own lives, the fixed and the spontaneous forms of worship? I look forward to discussing this together.